Hi everyone, it's Tara with Tara's Take. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. I'm here today at the request of one of my friends from one of my Facebook groups had asked for instructions on how to make this floating journal card tag pocket combo. I had made this card over the weekend and posted it, and she had asked for instructions, so I thought this would be a good second tutorial video. So I've got with me here a selection of papers to choose from, and you can choose any paper you want. I've got my bone folder, my glue, a pen in case my glue gets a little bit bratty with me and doesn't want to come out, and I've got my scissors. And that's pretty much, you know, just some decorative stuff, you know, and that's pretty much all you're going to need. So let's get started. So what I did here, of course, was I had used a regular journaling card that was out of one of the kits. Actually, the one I made our booklet yesterday. Okay, it's that same kit. And like I said on my other video, I believe that's Vintage Blue by Irresistible Prints and on Etsy. But yeah, I just used you know, a few little things here to decorate her, and then I turned it over and I had this paper that I had purchased last week at Walmart, and it's a really pretty paper. There's like 6 different designs. I picked 2 of them today to work with. Don't know if I'll do both of them, but anyway, I had been playing with the paper just for fun, and I used my little Tim Holtz spray ink, and you could of course do this with I guess you could speckle it with paint, acrylic paint or watercolor or whatever. I'm going to pull this up just a little bit. I want to make sure I'm not too far, not too close. There we go. And but what I did was I sprayed it with the Distress ink spray, and then I distressed it with the blue around the edges, and it just looked really grungy and really old. And so I kept thinking all weekend, I want to use it on something. And when I was looking at this card, I thought, you know what, that'd be cool to have it as a pocket on the back, because it's a very thin paper, so it's not going to be good by itself. It's going to have to be on something to give it stability. So that's why I went ahead and I used it on here. And then this tag is one of my tags from I have a little stack of them over here. I actually had cut, and I'm going to link, or I'm going to post these in my Etsy shop, or list them in my Etsy shop. They are my collage papers that I've made, and I went ahead and cut one of the pages down into tags, and that's what I'm using for the current junk journal I'm making. And so I decided that this looked pretty nice in here, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that with that, and it's going to go into the new journal. And you can either, you know, paper clip it in, you could use a bulldog clip, whatever kind of attachment you want. You could have it inside of the cover, you know, if you make pockets. Like I usually have a pocket on the inside covers of my journal in the back and the front, and so you could tuck it in there and you can pull it out, you know, and it's just really beautiful. I think it's real pretty. So let's get started. I have different cards here, and I was gonna say, for the journal card, I like to use cardstock. I don't really like to use a thinner paper, but for that pocket in the back, you could of course use the thinner paper. And I have just chosen a different grouping of cards here from different kits, and I even printed out a couple. I thought this was really pretty, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm not real sure, because it's more vertical, and I want these to be horizontal. At least I do. You can of course put them vertical and just make a more narrow pocket on the back, but for my needs, I'm going to make them horizontal, so I probably won't use that. But these two on here, I was thinking, actually they're kind of vertical too, aren't they? Well, we probably won't be using those today. Anyway, but here's a copy of one of my collage pages. It's not the original because of course I chopped that one up, but it is a copy of it, which is if you were to purchase this in my Etsy shop, it would come to you like this. So as you can see, it's pretty nice. And I went ahead and I printed out a like a blue coffee dye pattern, and I got this out of, I believe it's French Blue, the kit I bought from Tina on Shabby Dabby Doodah on her Etsy shop. Okay, so I like to back my pages. Like I said in yesterday's video, I don't like white on the back of the page. I don't know about you, but I just really like it to have something there. I'm still trying to figure out my camera situation, guys, so I apologize. I'm just pulling it up a little bit. I want to make sure I'm getting my hands in here and crafting for you. So I think today I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to use this one here, and let's see, I like these two. This guy's kind of fun. And I think I'll set these aside. And I was thinking this would make a nice one, and have it on the back as a pocket like that. Let's see. And that actually goes together. So, all right. On those, I think that'll make a couple. And then the other papers I have here, I was going to use this to cut the pocket for, and then for this one here I was going to make a journaling card out of. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this real quick while I'm here, and I think that'd be about that size would be good. I probably went over a little too far, but let me use, there we go. And so what I'm going to do, let's see, let me look. I'm going to grab one of my journal pages over here for my new journal. Where did I put them? Okay, I just want to make sure this is one of the pages that's going to go in the journal. Okay, yeah, it's a little wide, so I'm going to bring that down some. Y'all may recognize this paper. I'm not real sure what the name of it is, but it's a 12 by 12 pad. I got it at Hobby Lobby and I love it. That's still a little bit big. How about this? There we go. There we go. That's better. Let's bring it down in height too. Sometimes it looks smaller to me until I actually get the paper up against the page, and then I see, oh wait, I've gone way too big. I am cutting bad today. Let's see. There we go. That's better. So yeah, there. That size will be good. And I brought this other pink paper along because I wanted to use it for a pocket. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. That page is so pretty. That is out of one of Tina's kits from Shabby Dabby Doodah. I can't remember the name of it. If I can remember to, I'll link it in the bottom comments or in the description. Okay. I thought I might use one of those, a little bit of that for a pocket, but we'll see. So anyway, first I'm going to go ahead and distress my paper, my journaling card. I'm going to do the blue on this one here. I know it's already blue, but like I said yesterday, I love distressing around the edges nice and dark and making it really stand out. To me, that just says it all when you look at the piece. I always enjoy that. Okay. And okay, so this is a good example of what I do. I had talked about it in my last video. I have not, I'm going to move these out of my way. There we go. I have not done anything with this yet. So what I'm going to do is I like to take my ink and then I just run it along very lightly and distress that paper all the way across, and that way it looks vintage, you know, it looks a lot older. I just can't handle looking at the white paper. It's funny, I mentioned yesterday that I was in the legal field for over 20 years, and I stared at so much white paper through my career. And I actually used to, when I had stacks of work on my desk, I would actually make colored pages that identified the different, you know, stacks, so that I could have colors that I could associate instead of the white, because it just becomes one big, you know, pile of white in your view. And it's kind of funny now, I can't stand the white paper. So anyway, there we go. So now we're dark again on the back, and I'm gonna go ahead, and because I did that blue on the front, I'm gonna do it on the back. I am focused on the blue theme right now, so for me, this card, I'm making 2 journals that have a blue theme. One is very chic and elegant blue and vintage, and the other one is more of a grungy, it's elegant, grungy chic. Let's say that. And so everything I'm making right now that's blue is probably going to go into one of those journals. I have 2 stacks, I have 2 journal covers, and I'm just working on both at the same time, which is not like me. I usually only do one thing at a time. So the next step I did was I took one of these papers, and I think that we're going to use the gold again, and I went to the back, and I'm going to go ahead and do it like this, and you can see it's going to be about the right size, so I don't really have to do too much, just trim it down here, so it's going to be a pocket. Okay, make sure it's even here. It looks off a little bit to my eyes. I'm just making sure I get everything. There we go. And yes, where did I do with my brush? Oh, it's over here. I'm going to distress this like I had told you guys before, I believe. Well, if you didn't get to see my video yesterday, you didn't hear me say this. When I'm doing a pocket of any kind, I like to make sure, even though it's going to be glued down to the page, I don't know, I just feel like if somebody happened to glance down inside that pocket and it didn't match, you know, the rest of what I had done, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I like it to make sure that everything is matching in that aspect. Not matchy-matchy, but that it all looks completed, I think I should say. I like for things to look completed. So we're going to take this around the edge on the front. And I'm going to go ahead and after I get done with this, I'm going to get a page and put underneath, like a scrap page, and I'm going to put it underneath the page, this little pocket, and spray it with my ink. Okay, so let me see here. Oh, you know what, I'm just going to use a dry wipe, that'll be fine. A couple of these, there we go. And make sure and shake this up real good. And then I'm just going to spray it lightly. And I used Vintage Photo and Walnut Stain. But you know what? You could use any color. Anything that, you know, looks good to you. I think that's enough. So, oh my goodness, I hit that. I apologize. So sorry. There we go. And so, yeah, we're going to let this sit to the side and dry. And I'm going to go ahead and prep another pocket. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And I think what I'm going to do with this, I use my, I'm going to use my corner rounder here. And I'm going to go ahead and just round off these corners. I like that look. I think it looks pretty. And it gives it kind of, like I said, that finished look. And with this one, I'm gonna go ahead and do, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna go for it. Blue. Let's see what happens. Look at that. It's not bad. It looks pretty. Since it's already brown, I don't have to distress it with any other brown. I don't have to worry about the back. But this blue is kind of cool against it. And right now, I need blue. So there we go. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut another piece. So maybe I should have just did these at the same time, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it. Still, I'm on a learning curve, you guys, being brand new to doing these videos. I'm so used to just being by myself, and it's really fun to know that I'm actually talking to people. I'm going to go ahead and do the corners on this one too. I'll probably also do the corners on that other piece just because it looks nice. And again, we're going to distress this. I did this journal recently that was done in lavenders, and I did the same thing with it. I do a lot of distressing with the same color, and then I decorate around that with other colors. So, but like my focal point for people to look at is that that main color I've chosen, you know. I'll bring these back in. And I'm going to spray these down. You really need very little. And this one's dry, and as you can see, once it dries, it gives it that grungy, old look. Can you see how sheen that paper is? Isn't it pretty? It's fun. So we'll let this one dry now, and this one I'll go ahead and clip those corners like I was saying. This paper is kind of weird to punch. It's not. There we go. I may have just had a piece stuck in there, that's all. So what all are you working on this week? What's everybody doing? I'm just doing everything for my journal right now, and decided to come along and do it with you guys. But what are you guys working on? What's, oh, that's not cutting. Do I have paper caught in there? It does not want to trim that off. Huh. Let's turn it this way. Maybe it'll do it the other way. No, I'm just really curious what everybody's working on. I love seeing all the different, we're just going to use scissors. I love seeing all the different projects that others are working on, and oh gosh, everyone is so creative and talented in our little community, you know. It's amazing to me, some of the things I see, and I want to do them all. Do you guys feel like that? Sometimes I just want to do them all, and it's so funny, but it's so true. And I'm like, okay, you can't do everything everybody's doing. And so, as you can see on our prototype, we are going to go ahead right now, and we're going to glue this to the back. So we're just going to, oh, look at that, my glue worked. Did not get persnickety. You'll probably hear that word from me quite a bit. I like the word persnickety. I don't know why. I used to tell my kids not to be persnickety. Did you ever say that to your kids? They are now, of course, in their 30s, but okay, here we go. We're going to glue that down. Did I get that even? Looks like it. Okay, get me a dry wipe so I can just, I don't like to rub things. I like to press into it. I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to rub it off of where it's supposed to be. I press first and then I rub. And I think that works better for me. So there's our little pocket. Very vintagey looking, yeah. And then we have our front. And it's ready for us to decorate. And we're going to do that second one. We have this little guy. And this is probably pretty dry. Let's see. Yeah. We are ready on this one. So we're going to go ahead. Oh, I didn't do the back. Got to do the back. Don't forget. I know. I'm sure I'm not alone, but I'm sure there are those who are like, really? It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see that. But you never know. If they're like me, you know, and since this isn't going to be glued to the page, I'm the person who will look down inside of it, you know, to see how someone did it or to see what they did with it and go, oh, it's white. I also forgot to distress the back with the blue. We got to do that. The blue looks so cool against that. Looks pretty against that brown. I love blue with brown. So do you guys love color, or what all are you interested in? I am looking for ideas on what to craft. I'm writing them down in my journal, but I'd love to hear from any viewers that, you know, you have ideas of things you'd like to do, and I would love to learn with you. I am totally open to trying new things. I'm going to try real hard to do really well on camera, but I'm just, you know, I'm putting a disclaimer out there because I am definitely one of those folks who kind of trips into something becoming beautiful. And I said yesterday, you know, that is one of the things I love about other YouTubers that do crafts, is that so many of them allow us to see from start to finish. And you know, sometimes you're getting into the project with them and you're thinking, this just really, I hope this works out for them, and you know, it doesn't look like it's going to, and then by the end of the video they have created something so beautiful. And you know, it encourages me so much, because I've been so critical of my work at times and been like, oh, you know, it just doesn't look right, and I'll stop. And I've realized I've stopped too soon. A lot of times I stopped before it was done. And I liked where it was going, but I got to a certain point where I didn't know where to take it, you know? And so I just gave up. And that's one of the things I've learned by watching other YouTubers. Don't give up. Keep pursuing what you're doing, because the final outcome may end up being something that totally surprises you. So, okay, now we have 2 journal card bases with the pocket on the back, and we're ready to choose our tag. I have, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and use my collage tags that I had made, because I want to utilize some things on my channel that are my own creation. And so I want to eventually start making digi-kits, but right now I am kind of strapped because of the computer situation, so I'm kind of waiting. So we have these ones here that are ready, and let's see, I want it to come over the top like the other one did, and let's see which one looks the best. Oh, she looks pretty, huh? What do you think? I like her. She's a contender. Let's look at this gal. Oh, she's nice too. Look at that. And this little girl right here, look at her. No, this one's too short. I think we'll go, what do you think? Let's see. We got one more over here. We might as well check it. Nah, I think that one will be better over here with this one. So I am thinking, okay, she matches more. However, she is kind of more, catches your eye more because she's a little bit different. So I'm going to go with this one because I think she gives us more to look at. Okay, And then with this card, I think, let's try these two and see how they look. I want them, that's a little bright on the yellow, huh? Maybe I'm wrong on that. Okay, that one looks a little better. And then let's see this one. Oh wait, this one, I like this one. Look at her. That looks cute. We'll check her just in case. Nah, she's too blue. I think we're gonna go with this one. I like this one because I'm gonna decorate the front, so we'll make it work. Okay, so we're gonna use these two and set these aside. Okay. So I like to put something at the top. Now on this one, I used like a tab. I actually made this tab. It was a rectangular thing, and I used my hole punch and I made a tab for it. But I think on these, I might use some ribbon on one, and then on the other one, let me see, what do you think, guys? That color looks good? Yeah. Let's use a piece of this, and then I have, real quick, let me look in my basket here. I have this fun, you know, we're gonna pull back so you can see my basket. There, I have this fun basket full of like the crinkle edging and ribbon and lace and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm gonna look real quick through here and see. I'm gonna put that with that, and I'm gonna look at this one. I'm just bumping that camera all over the place. I apologize, guys. That's boring. Let's see. It's not boring for the right thing, but it's boring for this. I don't like it for this. I want it to be, no, that's too purple. I think I'm gonna go with this blue because look at that. It goes with what's on the side there. So I'm gonna cut a piece of this. And what I usually do is I want it to stick out, you know, a little bit. Yeah. So I'll cut it just a tiny bit longer because I'm gonna loop it through. And then hopefully, if it's too long, I'll cut it down. It'll be fine. Put this back where it belongs so I don't get it all tangled. I have such a mess behind me. If any of you could see, I know it looks kind of clear right here on my desk, but trust me, there's a mess beside me because I have all kinds of stuff that I use to decorate my things and all kinds of fussy cut things, and I end up just making a mess. Oh good, I was checking to see if my glue gun was on, and it is. That's good. Throw these away. So anyway, yeah, what I was saying before, I would really, really, really love if y'all would share with me what you're working on right now. So that we don't cover this pretty girl's face, I'm gonna go ahead and do this on the back. I'm just gonna put the ribbon to the back. I'm not gonna, usually I would, I mean, I guess I could, but it just seems like it's gonna be really, yeah, it's gonna be really close. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the back. Okay. So now, as you know, you've got to be careful with this glue gun. I'm gonna do it very light. I am so nervous to do this in front of y'all because if I burn myself or if I do it wrong and it comes out bad, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna trim that tiny bit of glue off. And I mean, you can staple this on. I use staples once in a while. I know some folks don't mind staples. I kind of don't use them too often on my work where they can show. Oh, I keep hitting that. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm so sorry. I don't know. They look good for other people when they use them, and then when I use them to my eyes, it makes my work look tacky. Is that a bad word to use? Sorry. but I feel like it looks bad. And then I see other people use it. I even ordered staples that are like a rose gold because I thought, well, maybe it's the color of the staple. And I still don't really like using them. So, okay, so here we have our little tag in the back. It's a little tall for this. I may end up switching this to a shorter tag, kind of like the one I did with this, but it's okay for you to, you know, for you to get the idea, which is what I wanted. So I'm not going to worry about that. So there's our first one. Got our tag ready. And now this one, I'm going to punch a little hole. And you know what? I think I'll use this punch. And make sure I'm even. And then I'm far enough down. I always cover it like that so I can catch the paper that's going to come through on the punch. So we got a nice little line there. And I'm going to go ahead and take that through. And I just do that little loop and pull it through. And sometimes, if I think it's going to be one of those that slips, I may put a dot of glue underneath. And of course, because I'm doing this in front of you guys, it's messing up. Usually when I'm by myself, it goes right. I can pull it right through, and it's no big deal. There we go. Okay. There we go. See? Isn't that cute? Now, like I said, you can actually take your little glue and go right up in here and just do the tiniest little dot, you know, make sure it's coming out. Aha, we need the needle. I knew I'd need it eventually. I'm just gonna put that through. Ow! Poked myself. There we go. Okay. It doesn't necessarily need it, but in case, you know, because if you're selling your journals or even if you're giving them away as gifts, the thing is that people are going to be taking this in and out, and it can come out, you know, and be like it broke for them. Not necessarily break, but that glue's still not coming out. There we go. But you know what I'm saying. And I think if it's glued in, then that way there's more of a chance of it not doing that. And that's better for your customer, right? So we have that one now, and that's going to go right here. So we have the two. Okay? So we can, let's see, where are we at on time? Let me look. I can't even tell. Oh. Sorry about that. I'm just checking. Oh, we're at 33 minutes. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a little decorating. Okay. Let's do this one first. So I am going to show you, I did some embossing today, and I love these. I love to fussy cut these out and do like the clear embossing over them. I really think they're so cute as like just a little accent on, you know, what you're working on. So I did me a bunch of those up today, and if you're interested in doing a video with that, let me know. I'm sure that you all know how to fussy cut and emboss, so I probably wouldn't, it'd probably just be more for fun to do it together than anything else. I like that one. That one's pretty. I left the paper around that one. That's cute. And then I have this stamp here I thought I'd put in the corner. Possibly. Nah, it's a little big. Let's see. Maybe I have a different one that's smaller. Let's see. This one looks nice. Look at that. I'll do that one. That one's pretty. I keep wanting to use this, and I haven't found the right spot for it. We'll see if this will work today. And then, let's see. I thought we'd do... See, this is the part that I was struggling with about making videos, is because my process is kind of, I sometimes just sit down and I have a hard time decorating, kind of. Do any of you find that you have a hard time decorating? And to be doing it in front of folks, you know, and stumbling through it is a bit of a challenge for me because I have all these things over here, and I can't have them all in front of me because then you couldn't see what I was doing. So instead, I kind of have to, you know, figure that out as I'm going along, and so I have all these piles of, oh, here we go. I like that one. That looks nice. I have all these piles over here of my ephemera, like fussy cut stuff stacked up around me, behind me, so that I can get to what I utilize. Now, I'm going to put her here, but what I like to do a lot is I like to take a picture, and it can be, sometimes I'll use like a real photo type picture, and then other times I'll use one that's more like a portrait. And I just, I like to do something in that focal point in the middle there. Let's find a pretty one that will look nice with what we're doing here. Let's see. She's got the right color scheme, but she's a little bit too, I don't know, not quite right for this. And let's see. She's pretty. She's a possibility. That's what I do, girls and guys. I just sit here and go through like this and pick them. That way I hold them to it to see, you know, what I think and choose. I say girls and guys, I wanted to address that. I forget that, you know, there are a lot of guys that are really crafty and that do an amazing job, and so you guys might be watching me too, and I don't want to exclude anybody. So okay, sorry I'm taking a minute, but I want to pick the right one. Oh, she's pretty. Let's do her. I like her. This probably will exclude the bow, but anyway, that's okay. So we're going to use this one, and what I do is I always tear. That's another thing. You know how I said I have a thing about the distressing? Well, I also have a thing, for the most part, about tearing around the edges. I don't like a straight edge. The only time I seem to really like a straight edge is when I do some of my collages. Some I'll do with the torn look, but I do love the way a collage looks with straight edges. So I do find that I do that with them. But other than that, most of what you see me working on is going to have this torn rough edge. Sometimes I'll use my scissors, of course, to rough up the edges, you know, and I'm sure you've seen other people do that. But yeah, for the most part, I like to tear. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get her down right away. So, because I already know where I want her. And again, I know I use a lot of glue, but I like to make sure that it's going to stay. And I'm going to put her right here, just off from the center. Press down, and then of course use my dry wipe, and there we go. And I'm not going to get super fancy with my decorating today. I just wanted to come along, make one of these for you guys, like my friend on my group had asked, and but I did want to decorate a little bit with you. I need to practice doing this in front of people and get quicker at it and more comfortable with it, you know, so it's good for me. So thank you for sticking it out and watching me make this little floating pocket tag work. Okay, I want to put a word right here, so I'm looking right here. I've got some words here. I have a few in one of my little, I have these little, I got these at the Dollar Tree. Love them so much. got a few different words. Let's see. That's too big. I think I'm just going to pull something from in here because these are really pretty. Actually, I have, what's this say? Family. Nah, that's not right. Notes, journal, cherish. Oh, cherish is nice. Wish. Oh, let's do wish. How about that? Make this easy on everybody. I'm not going to sit there and pick forever. And we're going to distress with the blue, and then I'm going to take my smaller brush here and pull out my brown ink and just run it over very lightly, very, very lightly. I just want to yellow that paper, you know, just make it yellowed. And so I'm gonna put that right there. Okay. And center it as much as possible. One thing I've noticed, for me at least, is like it's almost like the more I put on a page, the more I like it. Oh, look, she's kind of cute with that. What do you think? Am I crazy? Okay, don't answer that. You guys don't know me well enough yet to discern if I'm crazy, right? I hope not. I am a little bit, but, you know, it's kind of a family secret. I'm going to look at these little bows. I just think they're cute. These are Tina's, of course. Yes, I hang out with Tina on Shabby Dabby Doodah a lot. You guys are going to hear me mention her quite a bit, actually, because I just love the way she crafts. I love her attitude. And if she ever happens to listen to one of my videos, hi Tina. I'm a fan. Yeah, I've learned a lot from her, from Pam at Paper Outpost, Louise Heinzel. I can't remember her channel's name right now offhand, but I've learned so much from so many. I have a friend, actually I have a couple of friends that are also on YouTube. They're friends from my Facebook groups, and one of them is Dragana, and her channel is, oh, I want to say it right, Sasiba or Sasibo, and she is just awesome. I love watching her. I love her accent, but she's such an encouraging person. If you get a chance to visit her channel, please do. She is wonderful, and she posts the most beautiful projects. I mean, her work just, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So you know what? I think I'm actually going to use that there. I kind of like it. I kind of like it there, and I've been looking for a spot for it, you know. So now what I am also going to do with this one that I didn't do with the other one is I think I may add some lace. I have, or even some, let's see, nah, not that. I had done these really cute, since it's floating, I have to be careful where I put it, but I was thinking that I have a piece, yeah, this is the right one. I have one I'm going to use in my journal. I don't want to use that one. That's this one I should use. Yeah, I'm going to trim off a tiny bit and put it on the corner here. Since it's going to be a floating pocket, it's really not going to hurt for it to kind of have something like this attached to it. And I just love this lace, and I went ahead and I did it on my machine. I made the ruffle with it, and I think it turned out pretty. What do you guys think? I think it's kind of cool. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to handle. You got to be careful with it when you're gluing it down, because it does want to twirl in on itself, and yeah, and you can get the glue all over the place. So I'm challenging myself now. I'm pulling out my I'm pulling out my hot glue gun again. Oh boy, here we go. And I'm gonna do it at an angle here. And I'm just gonna do a little bit at a time, because that way I make sure not to put it on here wrong. So we're gonna do this little section, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put some more, and I'm gonna glue that. So it's just kind of coming down on the side, and I know this top part I didn't put too much, so I'm going to put a little bit more right here. Make sure if you do try this that you hold that so that it doesn't turn on itself, because it does, and then your rubber or your hot glue will end up showing and it looks tacky. So there's that. What do you think? I hope you like it. So far so good. So the front is done, and now we're going to do the back. And since we had that pretty young lady on the front, I'm going to go ahead and put, let me see something. She's more of a boho. Let's grab a smaller, I think I have a smaller picture that I can do. I have so many of those. I love all the different prints, the images, of people. Oh my gosh, I apologize. I love all these different prints, and so I have tons of these cut up. Let me just check here. Maybe this is not the spot. Nope, that's not the one. Let me find it. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong folder. No wonder. It's this folder. I have these little ones that are in here. Sorry. See, this is the part I was talking about. It's harder to do this in front of people because you got to look for things and have them close enough to you, but not too close. Now, darn it, I know I had some little ones. I'm going to pause this for just a second and find them. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use that first one I saw earlier, because I think she kind of matches the theme of the front, with kind of being a little more boho looking, a little bit gypsy look to her. She's not quite so, I don't know, aristocracy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, and yes, I am going to distress, as you know, with the blue again, because that blue is going to just bring her into the design of the rest of the floating pocket. You don't have to do a lot. I did a little too much right there, so I'll just lightly graze the rest of it around there so it doesn't quite stand out as much. It looks more like a cloud. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put her on there. Let's see, what else do I want to put here? Let me look at my little, I have a few things in here. It might be cute. Okay. You know what? I think, no, that's too yellow. Too big. I hope I'm not boring you to death. I may end up scratching this video and redoing the whole thing. I have to give myself a break and not be quite so hard on myself, because I am but I just want to do it right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's not good. Let's see here. So I think one of the things I am going to do is stamp a little bit around these edges. I love to stamp. Like I told you guys yesterday, I love to stamp around the edges of things and just give it a backdrop, and then that way when you're decorating, it doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel like you have to put so much stuff on there because you have that backdrop that your eye is kind of drawn to and it blends in with. So we're gonna do that and first before I put her on the page. Okay, that's good. And now I'm gonna go ahead, let's see, where do I want her? Do I want her in the center? I was thinking what I did with this one was I don't know if you can tell, but this is actually a little tuck spot here in the corner. And then I just did the floral. I think with her, I'm gonna overlay her on a butterfly. So I kind of like this guy. I'm gonna put him down. Yeah, I know I'm using too much glue, right? And yeah, I'm gonna put him right here. And then I'm just gonna have her over his wing a little bit right there. I love to finish off ephemera and pages even, but ephemera especially, I love to finish off with words, saying a message of some kind, you know. And so on the front we did wish. I'm going to do that. Make sure. And then, you know, because it's a butterfly, I'm going to glue this right here. This little part is coming up. Okay. Because it's a butterfly, I do love a little bit of bling on the butterflies. And so I'm going to use this, my black. You know what, I already have it cut. I forgot. I have my Diamantes here in my little drawer so that I think he can handle at least 2. He might be able to handle 3. Let's check. A little much, or is that okay? It looks pretty good, right? I think we'll do 3. Okay. So let's go ahead and trim. Oopsie. This is one of those fun things that is hard for me to do when I'm by myself, so on camera, virtually impossible. And what I usually do is just run my glue along the back like that, because of course the gap causes it not to be a big deal. It just goes right onto those little circles. Get him right there. Okay. Press him. Make sure he sticks. Okay. And now let's see here. What did I say? Oh, I was going to put a word. Let me close this. See, I've got all these boxes behind me. And I have tons of, I have definitions, I have words. Oh, I have these. I love these guys. These are, I got these little tags that say it's the word definition, and they came from My Porch Prints on Etsy. I get a lot of stuff from My Porch Print. I like theirs very much. Let's see. Let's do, I want to do one with the flowers on the edge. Let's do thankful. Okay. So we're just gonna, I think I'm gonna rough up this edge just a little bit. Sometimes I even tear these down further so that I get that torn look. And then I'm gonna, of course, distress. Just noticed this is my my little punch didn't corner that correctly, so that's okay. I like those little imperfections. I don't know about any of you, but I'm sure there are many of you that feel the same way. I think those, I don't know, they're pleasing to the eye. Perfectly imperfect. Of course, we got to age it with the vintage. Now, this is actually the coffee from Archival, but vintage photo, walnut stain, whatever you like to use. Okay, and we're gonna get this little puppy glued down right here. Make her thankful just to be alive. And put the card in there, the little tag. And like I said, because you know what I'm gonna do, because this is my creation, I can do this and not even feel bad about it. I'm gonna cut this down right now because it just needs to be a little bit shorter. And then all you gotta do is distress again, and I do believe we need to do this. Okay. This is some of my, I did a coffee dye cardstock, and then I baked it and to dry it, and it bubbled and made the coolest designs on my paper. Did that a long time ago. I need to make some more of that. There, see, it looks better with it shorter. So we have our young lady. This is thankful on the front, and in the back, and then on the front we have our other girl, and she's wishful. So let me know what you think. I'm not going to do this one on camera because the video is already long enough, and I'm trying to train myself not to go forever, and it's it's going to take me a little longer because I'm learning how to craft with you guys. But what do you think of it? Let me know. There's your instructions. I can't remember which person asked me. I think it was Denise, my friend Denise. Oh no, Doris. It was Doris. She asked me for instructions. So there you go, Doris. There you go. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. If you did, please hit subscribe and like if you enjoyed yourself, and please visit me again, and I'll see you real soon. God bless. Bye.